Hey developers, welcome back to your Day 7 Mission Explainer. We are hitting a massive milestone today because we're officially transitioning from theoretical concepts to practical application. We're done just looking at isolated code snippets. Today, we're going to build a fully functional React mini project, the text utility app. This is the moment where all those foundational pieces we've been studying start clicking together to form something real, tangible, and honestly, really useful.
But before we dive into the code, I want to set the stage with this grounding quote straight from the official React documentation. React components receive data and return what should appear on the screen. It sounds super simple, right? But keeping this core philosophy in the back of your mind is absolutely crucial. Everything we're doing today, whether we're adding buttons, changing colors, or manipulating text, it all comes back to this one simple flow. Data comes in and a user interface comes out.
So here is our game plan for this explainer. First, the text utility project. Second, styling with UI libraries. Third, understanding React state. Fourth, handling user events. And finally, building a dark mode.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the text utility project.
To really wrap our heads around what we're building, let's look at the anatomy of an app, and we'll use a house metaphor for this. Think of your JSX code as the wooden frame of the house. It gives your application its structure. But, a wooden frame isn't exactly a finished home. We need the paint, which is our visual layer. This is our styling and our UI libraries, essentially the interior design that makes the app look professional. Then we need the brains. That's the electricity running through the walls. It's the logic layer powered by React state and events that actually brings the house to life. So when you flip a switch, a light actually turns on. Today, we're installing both the paint and the electricity.
Moving right along to Section 2, styling with UI libraries, or how we bypass raw CSS.
Our sources highlight some absolute heavy hitters in UI styling: React Bootstrap, Material UI, and Tailwind CSS. These are mature, robust component libraries. And what this means for you is that instead of manually writing out the CSS for the padding, hover states, and border radiuses for every single button or navigation bar, you get to leverage these pre-built, highly polished components. Integrating a library like Material UI or React Bootstrap can literally instantly elevate your text utility app from a clunky prototype to a production-ready design.
And honestly, the procedure is brilliantly straightforward for pulling one of these libraries into your project. Step 1, you just run a simple install command using your package manager like npm. Step 2, add a single import line to your index.js file to bring the library into your app's ecosystem. And Step 3, you just utilize their pre-styled components right inside your JSX. That's the whole shebang. Suddenly, your standard HTML button is a beautifully styled, accessible, responsive component.
So our app looks fantastic, the paint is on the walls, but it leads us to this really vital question. How do we make the buttons actually do something? How do we take this beautiful but completely static interface and turn it into a dynamic, functioning tool?
That brings us to Section 3, understanding React state, which is where the real React magic happens.
Simply put, state is the data your application needs to function at any given moment. You can think of it as the short-term memory of our component. For our specific problem today with the text utility app, we have a text box, and we need our app to remember and track the exact text the user is typing inside it at all times. That text data, that is our state.
Now, what makes state such a massive game changer compared to traditional JavaScript is this. If you use a standard static variable to hold your text and that variable changes, the user interface completely ignores it. The screen stays exactly the same. But if you use a React state variable, specifically by utilizing the useState hook, the second that data changes, React's virtual DOM kicks in and triggers an automatic UI update. It literally forces the UI to stay perfectly in sync with our data, and we don't have to write any messy manual DOM manipulation code.
Which naturally leads us to Section 4, handling user events, so we can actually trigger those changes. Let's walk through the exact lifecycle of an event in our app step by step. First, the user performs an action. Let's say they click a button. Second, that action fires off an event handler, which is just a JavaScript function we've set up. Third, inside that function, we tell our React state to update with new data. And fourth, because the state changed, React automatically re-renders the UI to show the brand new result. It's a perfect predictable loop.
Let's apply this lifecycle directly to our text utility mini project. Imagine we have a button that says Convert to Uppercase. We tie an on-click event listener to that button.
When the user clicks it, it grabs the current state, which is whatever text is currently in the box, runs a standard JavaScript function to capitalize those letters, and then updates the state with that new capitalized text. Because the state updated, the text box on the screen instantly re-renders to display the uppercase words. This right here is the fundamental building block of all interactivity in React.
And for our grand finale, Section 5, building a dark mode, where we combine all of these concepts.
This feature is the ultimate visual payoff for mastering the useState hook and event handling. Think about it for a second. Dark mode isn't just some sneaky CSS trick, it's literally a state. We create a state variable that tracks whether the app is currently in a light theme state or a dark theme state. Then we attach an onClick event to a toggle switch. When the user clicks it, it flips the state. And because the state flips, the entire UI re-renders, dynamically swapping out our UI library classes from white backgrounds with dark text to dark backgrounds with light text. It allows your users to transform the entire feel of the application with one single click.
So, you've installed the paint, you've wired up the electricity, and you've built a fully functional text utility app complete with a really slick dark mode. Fantastic job on your Day 7 mission. But as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative thought to chew on. Right now, our state is local. It lives right inside our text component. But as your applications grow massively in size, spanning dozens of complex screens, how will you decide which state stays local to a component and which state needs to become global and shared across the entire app? Keep that question in the back of your mind, because modern state architecture is exactly what we'll be exploring next time. Until then, keep practicing and keep building.